Okay, so it's Sunday night, I don't know, 8 o'clock-ish. Yesterday morning, what did we do yesterday morning, like first thing?
We got breakfast and then we chilled.
Yeah, so we slept in, and then we went to get breakfast downstairs at the hotel restaurant, and we just hung out. Because we didn't do anything else yesterday?
We did our critical instance.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did. We typed stuff up. Yeah, and then we just hung out, because yesterday we went to one of the children's homes, and I can't remember what it's called. It's German. But so we went to that around 2 o'clock, and it was really cool. Definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting a very sad and melancholy orphanage. And the kids were all really happy. They're all playing outside. They're very excited to see us. We brought a suitcase full of just stuff. I mean, there were pencils, there were pens, there were colored pencils, there were markers, there was chalk, there was Play-Doh, like there's a ton of stuff. And within about 2 seconds of it being unzipped, it was swarmed by kids.
And then it all just kind of disappeared.
And it all just disappeared. We don't know where any of it went. No clue. But we hung out there until about 5:30. It was a good chunk of time. Just playing with the kids, hanging out. We learned how to play a game. Well, I say learned. We were taught how to play a game they called Stones, which is like jacks, but on steroids.
Yes.
And played with rocks. And none of us are very good at it. At all.
It's fun, though.
Yeah. It was cool. I have another video of it. I should probably upload at some point. It was impressive. These kids were impressive. But so Brooke and I did that for a good chunk of the time that we were there. We went and toured the house a little bit, and it was kind of neat.
I didn't.
I got pulled to the ground by my ponytail. Hard. Like, it wasn't just a gentle, like, hey, I want your attention. I was pulled to the ground by my ponytail. And then little boy climbed in my lap and ripped open my shirt. So that was...
Yeah.
That was great. And he was, I don't know, 7?
I don't know how old he was. But the same kid, right as we got there, like, initially, he just came up and grabbed my arm. And I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
And Ty goes, oh, you've been claimed. But then I had made a checkerboard just on construction paper, but, like, made all the squares and colored it in and everything. And then we scrounged up all of the bottle caps that we had, that everyone else had,
and
in our
Brad
group,
went,
and yeah, dumpster dive.
There you go. For us.
Found a bunch. And then the hotel lady had, like,
5 or 6.
Yeah, 6 or so. And then we almost had enough white ones to just do blue lids and white lids, but we had 2 blue lids that we had to color. So we colored all the white lids red, and then colored the other 2 blue lids red also. But I pulled that out, and right away an older girl sat down and wanted to try and play it, but she didn't know how. So Holby and I kind of, like, walked her through it. Then I got up, and a bunch of, like, kids, like, came and took my spot, and then there were kids, they brought it inside, and they were playing with it, like, throughout the entire time we were there. So that made me feel really good inside.
Yeah, we definitely should have made more checkerboards. No, that was really cool, though. And then we had been claimed by a little boy who, at first Brooke was carrying him, and he kept trying to stick a domino to us. So first it was Brooke, but it didn't work because she was carrying him and it kept falling. So he stuck it to me, and I had to walk while balancing this domino, like, on my throat and on my head, and, like...
so cute. So initially, he came up to me, and I don't remember how he came up to me, like, or what started it, but he kept saying clay, and I was hearing clay, but I was confused, so I thought he meant play. And so I like kept trying to play with him, and he had a chalk in his hand, so I would like trace his feet, and then I tried playing tic-tac-toe with him, but he didn't quite grasp it, and he's only 6. So, but then um, we wandered around for a while trying to look for the Play-Doh, as I figured out that's what he was after.
Yeah,
and
I
Holby
brought Play-Doh,
that.
but not enough.
And then, so then Nikki told me to come sit down and like play the stone game. And so I sat down for a while, and he sat on my lap. And then I got up to go check the time. And then he was really disappointed that I left. And I was like, I'll be back. But I never actually like went back and sat by him because a bunch of other kids were over there. So I chilled with Holby for a little bit. Then he found me again, and that's when we were playing the domino game. And he put it on my head, he put it like right here, he put it on my shoulder, and so we were playing that for a while, and then I carried him outside and we went and found Holby, and so then he was trying to play it with her.
And so then we were inside this little like mini rec area, dance area, I think maybe they use it for. But so we went back out because I didn't see anyone, and so we went back out and could not find anyone. Like, we didn't see anyone anywhere. So we're both sitting on the ground while 2 of the kids are like playing with our hair, which was great until one of them had like tangled my hair up, and he was running his fingers through it, but he was like ripping out chunks of my hair, which I have a pretty strong, like a pretty tough scalp, and that was awful. But so we both got detangled finally, and we went to find everyone, and we found out that they had gone to a different house and left us behind. So we just kind of sat there and waited. And then everyone came back, and like they didn't even notice. Rude. But
Yeah.
They said it wasn't super exciting either. But so then we took a couple pictures. We all got ready to go. Got everything of ours rounded up, and so we were walking to meet our bus because it was really tight in the area we were in for the roads. So we walked down this hill to go meet our bus, and we sat there for about 30 minutes waiting for the bus with no idea where it was, no way to get a hold of them in this super, it's not rural necessarily, but it's not a very touristy area, so nobody spoke English. And so we sat there stranded on the side of the road for a good 40 minutes. Finally, Nikki went and asked a shopkeeper if they could call our guide lady. She's been orchestrating everything for us. And so then she called the bus, and they figured out where we were. And so, yeah, we got home, did dinner. Brooke went to dinner at La Bella, which is like a Italian, Indian, continental mishmash of places. And then I went back to Third Eye for like the 3rd night in a row. And I had garlic naan and vanilla ice cream for dinner, because I'm an adult and I can do that, and it was cheap-ish. It was still like 600 rupees, because there was 150 rupees worth of tax. And the ice cream was like 230 rupees.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. Okay. And then we got home, and did we even hang out in the lobby at all? Oh. I don't know why this has been a problem.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
But we are on the 3rd floor. And I don't know. I can't explain this, but for some reason, at least once a week while we've been here, I have walked onto the 2nd floor and like blacked out the stairs beside me. Like, I can't see them. They don't exist. And so I walked to the 2nd floor room that should be ours if we were up, and tried to get in. And so it was locked, and the light was off. There's no light shining under the door. So I just assumed that Brooke was downstairs somewhere and I hadn't seen her. So I'm getting ready to go back downstairs, and I realize there's another flight of stairs to go upstairs. So I figured out I was not on our floor, which would be why I couldn't get into that room. But one of these days, I'm gonna get into that room, and I don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be super embarrassing, and I'm not about it. Um,
Taylor and I, played with our singing bowls last night while Holby was at dinner. And then, I don't know, we talked for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so after Holby got back, and then came back to the room, and Holby and I were talking for, I don't know, like 5 minutes, and then I got up and then came back, and she was
it was
fast
like
asleep.
15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah, that was a fair chunk of time.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, I was tired. And then today we went out to breakfast for the first time since we've been here, to a little cafe called Himalayan Java. We've gotten ice cream there before, but we've never eaten breakfast there. And since it's our last weekend and really our last day that we could go out to eat breakfast without having to wake up at we wake up at 7 anyway, without having to leave at 7. And so I had plain pancakes, and they were good. But Brooks came with ice cream and whipped cream, and I was so mad.
Mine were chocolate chip pancakes.
And mine were not. It was sad. I was so sad. But we got done with that. We went back to the hotel and met up as a group. Went and did a little bit of exploring. And then Brooke and I got to take on the adventure of getting a cab to go back to the little town thing. I'm not entirely sure what they would call it. But the area where we got our singing bowls last weekend, we went back. So we got a cab to go there, and it was kind of cool because he said $750, $720, and I offered him 500 rupees, and he bobbled and laughed and said get in. So
yeah, he's like, just come
get
on.
in the car. So he dropped us off, and we went in and we bought singing bowls. And mine is kind of gigantic. I mean, it's not the biggest that they sell, but it is substantially larger than my first one. And it's substantially larger than Brooks, too. Mine's about 24 centimeters diameter, and Brooks is like 18. And so then we got a cab to take us home. And so it was kind of cool. We weren't sure how much money we were about to, spend for taxi fare, because it felt like we were forever and a half away from this town, but we only paid 500 rupees each way, which is $5. So we paid $10 each way. So that was kind of cool. It was pretty cheap. Singing bowls were not cheap. Mine was expensive. It's kind of big. But, and then we got back and we went to dinner with Brad, Taylor, and Kaylee. We went to a place called the Northfield Cafe.
Yeah.
Which supposedly is named after a town in Minnesota. I don't know. But it was really good. We all ate Mexican food and listened to country music while sitting in Nepal.
It was a good time.
It was amusing. It was good.
The food was actually pretty good.
It was really good.
3 of us had
chicken
burritos, and then Brad got a chicken enchilada, which I really wanted to get the enchilada, but so far my luck with that type of thing has been it's been spicy, so I didn't get it, and come to find out it was more sweet than spicy. But the chicken burrito was still pretty good.
Really good. And then Kaylee got quesadilla.
Yeah.
We saw monkeys today during our cab ride, backtracking a little bit. It's just hanging out on the side of the road in the middle of town. Yeah, got back, had dinner, and then we just went back to the hotel. Everyone else did the girls exchanged some money. Excuse me, and Brad went and looked for a book. He was comparing prices on a book. And we just came home and hung out in the lobby and talked to Miles, who's one of our mentors, our peer mentors. who's been doing presentations, I guess, at an education symposium that's going on here, that all of our teachers are attending, our lead teachers. And so Miles has gotten to do that, and it was really funny because the itinerary said it was by Dr. Miles Bittner, and he's still working on his master's. So he got promoted when we went to Nepal. It was good. And we just kind of planned out the week. It sounds like tomorrow we're going to go try to check out the historical palace where a prince massacred everyone.
His family. And only his uncle survived.
Yeah. Super morbid and messed up. So we're going to go check that out tomorrow. My debit card isn't working. So that's kind of stressful. But Samara said that there's an actual bank up the road a ways by one of the restaurants we've eaten at a couple times that is an actual bank. And so I'm going to try my luck there tomorrow. Because I'm down to about $6. $11 if you count what I have in American money. So I'm gonna go try that out. But tomorrow we are the leads in our classroom. So we'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. A lot of us don't really feel like we're gonna be able to take over much. Like, we'll be able to lead the activities, but otherwise we're still just students.
It's hard for my class and Holby's too, but so like again, I'm with the toddlers, and so they just play most of the time, except for like a brief, like 15 minutes. And so I feel like for the 15 minutes I'll be able to lead that activity, but other than that, like, they don't do any lessons or anything, so there's nothing for me to take over. And I don't have a watch, so I'm definitely not going to be in charge of, like, transitioning and all that sorts of good stuff, so.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow for everyone. But so we're going to go check out the palace tomorrow after school. We have a meeting with Samara in the evening. What are we doing on Tuesday?
Paint.
Oh.
No,
I think Tuesday's just a free day.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Tuesday
we have to go
our
check out Orchid Garden.
We do get to do that in the morning for about 45 minutes or so before we go back to Mother Care. And then we have our individual meetings with Samara that afternoon. And then I think Samara's going to come with me to just go do like some last minute like shopping or something around town.
And then Wednesday we're going to go check out the painting shop, finally. Maybe. Go check that out, and then we're going to try to do a big family style dinner, I think.
Yeah.
Thursday we have our going away party hosted by Sri Ram, our primary tour guide planner.
And if we have any luck at all, Holby and I are going to try and go get just a henna tattoo.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday, before we go to the party.
We're going to see if we can go do that.
I'm super excited to do that because I think it'll be really cool, but we'll see if we can find a place.
Yeah. And then Friday, we think we're getting dismissed early, at like noon-ish, but they might be doing like parties for us, so we're not positive. But so then we'll have, I thought Nikki was saying there was something going on.
I think she was saying we might try and do another like lunch.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if we
have another powwow or something.
Yeah, even if we do get dinner as a family Wednesday, we'll try and still do it Friday again before we like have to get on the plane and everything.
Pack up and head out. So we're down to the final countdown of 5 days, 5 nights.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, a lot of us are definitely ready not necessarily ready to leave, but ready to come home. Um, but like it definitely has gone fast. Like individual days have gone slow, especially like last Saturday went really slow because we didn't really do much. But like yesterday and today have just flown by because we have been so busy.
All of us thought yesterday that it was Sunday.
Yeah.
So we all thought we were supposed to be at school today, even though yesterday was Saturday. So,
Yeah, and so I don't know. We're all thinking that this week will go by pretty quick because we're all being actively engaged in our classrooms, which some of the people on our trip have, and good for them. I think I need to drink water. One of my blood veins is like coming out. But so some of the people on our trip have gotten to be actively engaged almost every day. But for a lot of us, especially like Brooke and I and Chansey, they follow a play curriculum. And so that's what our kids do, is they play, which is great, except it's really hard to teach when they're doing free play.
Yeah, I love playing with the toddlers, and I shouldn't, but I definitely already have my favorites, even after only being in the class for 2 weeks. And I'll definitely be sad to leave them, but I kind of wish that there was more to do, because playing is fun, but when it's the only thing you do, it kind of gets...
Yeah, like they don't do any activities. So like at home, when I was at developmental, we followed a play curriculum. And Hannah and I, shout out, tried to introduce, introduce things that weren't just free play. So like we would put things in our sensory bucket, and the kids would play with it. Like that's totally what they were doing, but they were also exploring and learning, or just like stuff like that. And they don't do any of that here. So their play curriculum is entirely free play for the kids. There's no like structure to it. And so that's just interesting because even though I was in a play curriculum preschool daycare, we still did things that enriched the children's education and cognitive development without, doing typical schoolwork. So that's been interesting. I think that's about it.
Yep.
This weekend went by super fast, but we really didn't do much. We just did some few things for a very long time.
Yes.
So,
and sleeping in and not getting out of bed till 9 o'clock helps with that too.
Yeah. But we're crossing our fingers that we don't get sick this last week. Being very careful. I want fruit so bad, and a lot, like the Java place we went this morning served fruit, and we couldn't eat any of it. I mean, we probably could have, but we didn't.
Better safe than sorry, in my mind.
Yeah, I've been sick once this trip, and that was just like minor adjustment, and I didn't sleep thing. But, so yeah, final countdown till we come home. Hopefully this week's updates for like class stuff will be a lot more entertaining than they have been, because we'll actually be doing things. But we'll see what happens.